Back with the WMAY morning news feed at 8:41 now. I'm Greg Bishop, and love telling you about things that you can help fund and help keep awareness about, and things to maybe conserve some history. And what our next guest is doing is pretty incredible. You know him, Tony Libri, former county official, veteran of our armed services, former media guy himself. Being on TV stations and as a reporter. And Tony, thank you so much for taking time with us. When I saw this pop up in my news feed, I was like, I got to reach out. It's been so long since I've talked to him. Glad that we get to talk about this and some efforts that you're hoping to preserve some history here in Illinois, and in particular in Springfield. So tell us what you got going on. Good morning.
Well, it's so nice of you to have me on. I appreciate it. My wife and I are really big on conserving old buildings. We like to restore old structures, and we have several places that we rent out over by Lincoln's Home, and we use a good portion of that money for the Matthew Project, which is a charity, if you will, that helps the homeless children in the 186 school district area. So our love for restoring old buildings came out of that effort. And recently, we discovered that the old Ursuline Academy, the SCI property, the Benedictine College campus, to most of your listeners now, that's what it's called, came up for sale. It's been for sale for some time. So we managed to swing a deal with Benedictine, who has been fabulous with us. So we managed to sign a contract to buy the entire campus, which is approximately 13 main buildings. But they've given us permission to sell off some of the buildings that we just knew we would never be able to get to, and then use those funds to pay down the debt for the campus. So we've been pretty successful so far. Of those 13 buildings, and again, I don't know how in-depth you want to get here, but I could tell you that we sold the Brinkerhoff home to a gentleman and his wife, the Fiddler family, and they want to keep it open as a historic site. So it'll now be on the tax rolls. That's good for the city of Springfield. We have sold the King's Daughters home, which will be returned to its former status as a senior living center. So that will now be a tax-paying entity here. So that's wonderful. We have sold the old Ursuline Academy, which some people will know as Angela Hall, has been sold to Destiny Church, and they're really big in working with the community. So the funds from those buildings will help us restore the 6 buildings that we hope to keep. That is Ursula Hall, which is the Music Conservatory. That's the main thing that we're interested in. Then next door to that is the original Ursuline Academy, built in the 1800s, then a beautiful chapel, and then 3 living quarters that the nuns used to live in. So that's our project that's getting the most attention, if you will, is the Ursula Hall, the Music Conservatory. This building is so fabulous, and I've even been told by local musicians that up until the Sangamon Auditorium was built, this was the most perfectly tuned auditorium in the central Illinois area. And it's going to be fabulous. Once people found out we're restoring it, I bet you I've had 50 calls from musicians who said, look, we want to play there. It's that good of a place.
So you're raising funds to conserve the Music Conservatory.
Right.
How much is this going to cost to be able to get this in a nice kind of restored fashion?
Well, we're putting a new roof on it. Benedictine is helping with that project. That's going on here in the next 2 weeks. We're going to begin that project, and that's a major thing to get it all dried in because we've had a leaky roof problem for some time. But I estimate it's going to take a year and the best part of $1 million. But we are applying for grants. We have a GoFundMe page that's active, and it just went up yesterday, and we'll be having a website here pretty soon. I will say we are a nonprofit organization called Preservation Inc. So everything is tax deductible. Now, my wife and I, even though we've made arrangements to purchase, the contract to purchase all this stuff, none of this stuff is going into our name. As soon as we're able to close on all these buildings, which should be in just a few months, and we've had to put the ownership off because of all the zoning things we've had to go through. But it'll never be in our name. We've donated it to charity, to Preservation Inc. So it's all truly an altruistic effort here, and nobody makes a dime. Nobody's getting paid. Everything is not for profit. So every penny that people donate goes straight into rebuilding these fantastic historical buildings.
Tony Libri joins us here on the WMAY morning news feed to talk about his efforts out there at Benedictine University to restore and make sure that those buildings out there don't just go to waste and start crumbling. And sounds like you're well on your way to getting a whole bunch of people interested in helping out already, securing that help from several individuals, and now doing a fundraiser to help get that conservatory conserved. Tony, if people are interested in helping out, you mentioned the GoFundMe page. I
Right.
imagine that people are going to be able to donate there, and they can find that, I'm sure, through your social media channels and
Sure. Just
elsewhere.
just type in Ursula, Ursuline Academy or Music Conservatory. It'll come up under that. Or they can call me. Here's my direct number: 217 836 7669. We're looking for volunteers. We're trying to arrange for volunteer days coming up, and we're going to give tours. And we would love to have you and Jim Leach as well come out and visit the place.
I'd love to see it because some of these historic buildings in Springfield are hidden gems, and I love knowing that there's people like Tony Libri out there who are looking
You're
to
too kind.
help preserve these things because it's a bit of history that I think everybody needs to continue to hold on to. And
Well, there is one thing you could do for me. We still have two buildings left for sale: Dawson Hall and Becker Library. Now, these are two big buildings. Dawson Hall was the actual college, SCI and Benedictine College building, and the Becker Library. So those are the only two we haven't sold yet that we're trying to sell. And again, all the money, all the proceeds go into rehabbing the other buildings. So if you're interested, if the city of Springfield or the St. John's or Memorial or the clinic are interested, school district, this is the place to call: 217-836-7669.
Tony Libri, greatly appreciate taking time with us to explain this, and we'll connect again in the future because I want to see this. I want to see this happen. All right.
And one thing that your listening audience needs to know: what a great team you and your wife are for raising money for cancer. That was a wonderful thing you did, and thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate that, and people watching the video right now can see my pink hair, uh, and it looks great. Everybody said good things, but I tell you what, it's not without the perseverance of my wife and getting that done. And we want to make sure people know about the importance of early detection and how.
Well, you are truly a gift to the capital city, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate that, Tony, and we'll talk again soon. All right, be safe.
Thank you, sir.
It is the WMAY morning news feed now 8:49, and your forecast looks